the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. I take it. I take it.
D, how have you been?
I've been amazing. I've been blessed for one though. I've been blessed, definitely.
That is beautiful. D, for the people in here, for mi gente, who have no idea who you are and what you do, can you tell the people who you are and what you do and why you're so awesome?
All right, so I'm D. Will. What I do is I invest in real estate. But my overall joy is just, helping my fellow people out that, come from my similar background and just showing them that there's a better way and letting them see that, it's more to just what we're normally shown or taught.
Nice. How did you get started, D? Because you had your background before, you weren't always in real estate. What were you doing before this?
Man, what wasn't I doing before that? What wasn't I doing? That's the real question. But I mean, I'll go back to when I was rapping. I was rapping before this. I was active in the streets, honestly, before this. So I don't know if anyone that's listening that's kind of in that similar or was in that similar situation. But, that's where I come from the streets and, partaking in all of the activities that, you take on when you're in the streets. And it never was a joy of mine. I never enjoyed it, but it was like, that's your surroundings. So you either got to, survive or you give up and let go. And I just always decided to be a survivor.
So how did you make the transition? How did you, well, basically the simple question, did you find real estate or did real estate find you?
I guess I went looking for it because how I found it, I was on YouTube watching the Breakfast Club interview with Mark Whitten back in February.
Yeah.
And so he got to talking about wholesaling. And I'm like, all right, I know he ain't talking about the type of wholesaling I know about. So, yeah, I was just, and I was like, listening to him. And as he was going on, I was like, okay, this sounds like something that I can do. And I've always had like a hidden passion for real estate. But my thing is I didn't want to be a real estate agent because I'm not really like that well with school.
Mm-hmm.
The structure of school, I never really was well with that. So I didn't want to go through that process. And that's kind of the only thing that held me back. So after watching that interview, he was saying you needed no cash, bad credit, no money. I'm like, this sounds like something I need to look into.
Yeah.
So what I did was I joined his course that he had. It was like $20 a month, and he would do weekly calls. So my thing was I wanted to just hear what was going on. So I would just overhear the conversation maybe for about 2 or 3 months. I was just, just listening. And then I took his course and I couldn't really catch on to how he was delivering it. So what I did was I just went back to YouTube, and as soon as I went back to YouTube, I found Max Maxwell.
Yeah.
So, and this guy, he was more relatable. He kind of made things make a little more sense for me. So I just kind of, just studied everything he said and kind of just went and did my own research on things that he said. And, he kind of just led me into believing in myself a whole lot, though. Yeah.
So what's the story to your first deal?
So my first deal was actually a great story. It wasn't a deal, though. Like the first deal I found was through Driving for Dollars, which I highly recommend for anyone. So I actually found this house in my old neighborhood by Waller Place. And the house actually belonged to a girl that I went to school with. Like her mother had passed away after I went to the probate. And I did, this was all things Max would tell you in his videos. So I just did all of those things. And I had all the information on who the house belonged to, how much was owed on the house, and everything that you needed. So what I did was, Max had a meetup in Baltimore. I had all this information just sitting in my hand.
For that, yeah.
A lot of us were there. A lot of us.
Yeah, I couldn't make it to that one. Yeah.
Okay. So I just held on to that information because the girl who I knew and I grew up with, she knows me from the street. So it's just like I can't call you and be like, look, I'm trying to buy your house. So I mean. I sat on that information for probably weeks until that meetup. And I actually went to that meetup and I met one of my partners, Andre. And, I just told him like, you know, I have all this information, but the only thing is I'm scared to call, and I don't think she'll believe me.
Yeah.
You know, but the house is vacant and they need to sell. And I gave him all the information. He was actually able to call, lock it up. We found the buyer, but there was some paperwork that needed to be done from the seller. And the seller didn't turn the paperwork in until the day after it was the deadline. So that was about $40,000 that we missed out on.
Oh, so that's the beauty of being in the DC market. See, those margins are very nice.
Yeah. They definitely can be. So that right there just kind of showed me like, oh, hold on. So if she would have turned this paperwork in, then we would have had a $40,000 assignment. So I was like, okay, well,
wait, pause. See, I missed it. I thought you got the $40,000.
No. She turned it in the day after the deadline.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So we didn't know though. Like, you know, this was our first time. So that just kind of, it hurt so bad, but it just showed me like, if she would have turned this paper in, then the money would have been ours.
Yeah.
So I want to know more. I want to see more. I want to do more.
Yeah.
So I just began to kind of like self teach myself, and then eventually after that, maybe a couple months later, we actually did lock up a deal, and it closed. So that kind of just showed me that if you stick to it, like, you can really do this though. You can really do this.
Yeah. And you know, if anything, that's your price for education, right? We all pay our tuition in different ways.
Yeah.
Seriously, you all pay your tuition in different ways. You learned it that way. Yeah. That's all right.
I believe that's the best experience though, like that hands-on experience. Because you can really kind of beat that.
True. Very, very true. I gotta pause. There's so many amazing people in this room that I have to say hello to. Rehab and Heals, you know I got love for you, girl. Andrea, hello, my dear. Elle, you know how I feel about you. Bravado Life, you know I gotta rock it. I gotta support the fam. Capital Credit Mish, hi, sweetheart. How are you guys? Hello, everyone who's joining us this evening. I am chilling with D, and I'm excited. So, D, what has happened this year for you and your business?
This year has really been, this has probably been like one of the best years of my life, and not just because I've been successful or I've accomplished certain things. It's just I had a lot of lessons this year, a whole lot of lessons. It just taught me that you just, no matter what, you just got to keep your head strong and just keep going though. You got to keep going though, because things happen to you, or, you know, relatives. Things happen to them where you have to step in. It's just so much happened that it just kind of showed me that no matter what, I got to be headstrong, and you know, and everything else will work out. Like, and don't worry about the details. That's my number one lesson.
Yes, let's go. You mentioned that in your podcast. First of all, let me also, Andrea said it perfectly. She said he blew up in 2019. I co-sign on that. D blew up in 2019.
Thanks to Andrea. Andrea was a big help, and she know that. I love her to death.
2019.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely made I think we made history though, man.
I think you did.
Yeah,
I think you did too. I really think you did. But no, to catch up for the people here who aren't familiar with what you did this year, and I only know the small part of what you did.
Yeah.
How I discovered you, D, was the fact that you and Antoine partnered together and basically started a meetup. And what I thought was so impressive about the meetup that you guys did was, first of all, I like people who were solution oriented. You saw the need, you didn't complain about it, you said, okay, how can I fix it? You didn't know how to do it, so you figured out how to do it and you executed.
Yes.
I love people who execute.
And honestly, that's all it was though. There was like, for me, what it was like, where I come from is like, you know, you kind of to learn more and do more, you got to be around certain people though.
Yep.
So coming in this game, I really didn't know anyone. So what I did was, I knew I had a following on Facebook just from being active and trying to teach myself. So I just sat and kind of thought, like, you know, how can I start a meetup? Yep. First, I searched meetup.com. It wasn't no meetups. Not that looked like it would be for people, you know, that would enjoy it, though. It didn't look like anything fun. So I said, you know, I had to talk with my wife. I had to talk with my business partners. And, you know, they just said, you know, whatever you want to do, let's do it.
Yeah.
So we booked the place. I reached out to Antoine. He was all for it. I reached out to Sabrina. She was all for it. So it was just like, you know, all these things were lining up. And I had no clue, like no clue whatsoever what I was doing. So I just, you know, said it, put the information out, and it blew up.
Yeah.
From the first one, the second one was like probably the birth of everything, though, because that's the one where me and Antoine partnered on. It was just like, all right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give it to them every month because they were demanding it. So it's like, I mean, it's needed. And the thing just grew, though. If we were able to bring so much value and change so many lives, I just feel so wholeheartedly, you know, grateful for just to be a part of that, though. Because I had no idea what I was doing. I promise you that. I promise. But it happened, though, and it's like, to look back at it, I'm very proud, though. I'm very proud.
You should be.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Exactly. I love it. Chris Monroe said, do whatever it takes. Exactly. You did whatever it takes, and you got the job done.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that
that's
deeply.
The only way. Yeah.
To the point, like I said in my post, to the point where people had to be turned away at the door last time.
That was crazy. That Max
that was actually ridiculous. I didn't get it.
Let me tell you a small story about that. So the end of last year, I was talking to my wife, and I was just saying, I wish I can get Max up here and just speak to everybody. I had no knowings of Max besides just YouTube, never met him, never spoke to him, didn't know how it was going to happen. So, yeah. And when it happened, I was so amazed, though. Like, I really didn't grasp what was happening until after it was over.
Yeah.
Because it was so much like a dream to me, though. And I'm just real grateful that, you know, so many people were affected positively through the meetups.
Yeah. Yes, Provider Life, yes. D here actually founded an awesome meetup and has passed the baton to Antoine. And so you can follow them. Was it All American? What's it called, darling?
Well, for the meetups?
Yeah.
So if you go to Facebook and just put in Antoine Campbell, probably as soon as you put in A, he'll come up, and then you'll get all the information of all the value that he brings and gives. But definitely, if you're in this area, the DMV area, definitely go to the meetups, though. I promise you won't be sorry.
No, you will not be sorry. And honestly, even if you're not in the DMV,
come
to the DMV. Yeah, you might as well.
Sorry, but I had nothing to do with that.
None of us got in. It was ridiculous. Yeah. It was ridiculous. It was an awesome thing. So here's my question to you. How has helping and giving helped you personally and also in your business?
So helping and giving honestly taught me a lesson that coming in the game as a new investor, like, you can't really be so giving because you don't really have but so much knowledge.
True.
But what that did teach me is that you can teach people with the little bit of knowledge that you have, like being able to go all the way from getting a contract to closing a contract. And I guess that's really the whole synopsis of real estate investing. So I've been able to walk people through that. And through my business, it just helps me learn more, honestly. Like, I feel like the more I do, whether I'm getting paid for it or not, it's like just teaches me more. And I know knowledge is power. So I'm begging for as much knowledge as I can get.
Facts.
Yeah.
So I asked everyone here, oh, hold on, what Elsa? Yeah, Elsa, give what you know. And that's the truth too. Thank you, El, for mentioning that. Sometimes we think that we don't know enough, especially because we're new in whatever specialty we are in. Like you said, just real estate. But sometimes being able to tell someone else who is super new how to get to a meetup is a powerful thing. Yeah. Like, how to get the information.
It really is, though, and that was my thing, though, just helping people just coming fresh into it and trying to give them that spark that you can really do this if you take these steps and really take action on it.
So my question is this: what were your fails this year?
So this year I locked up probably 6 contracts. I know that's not a lot for certain people, but for me, that was
for DC. That's good. Like,
that's hella good if anybody knows
DC,
that.
That's good. It's so competitive.
Yeah, it is. And the thing is, only well, actually, I have a contract that should be closing now. So 7 contracts. But the thing was, maybe 4 of those didn't close, and I had one that didn't make the closing like the night before. I found out that there were 2 loans on it. So that was like a huge loss, because it's like, okay, well, you know, things don't always close, but the night before you're expecting your check, it don't come. So it's like, it hurts though. It hurts.
Yeah.
And you have to figure out how to get over it though. And it took me some time, but now I feel like, you know, my feelings towards deals not closing is kind of like it doesn't matter, because you got to keep your pipeline full at all times.
Seriously.
Yeah.
So during this time, were you working by yourself? Do you work with a team, or your one-man show?
No, I actually work with a team, All American Real Estate Group. My partners, Carlton and Andre, they're amazing guys. You know, we're just building though, you know, just building and getting our systems in place, which is very important for anyone who's doing investing, just to have a system and being able to delegate those systems. That really helps.
That's facts.
Mm-hmm.
Now, ooh, that's a good point. What was it? Oh, I missed it. Ouch. Oh, she says like a punch in the throat. Yeah, it was like a punch in the throat.
Like a stab in the back. That's what it was. Yeah, for sure though. For sure. So you've been there and done that.
So for you, how do you try to keep your pipelines nice and full?
Let me also get back into the lessons that I did experience. So I drive for dollars very heavy. I had about 600 properties in my deal machine.
Man.
But the thing was, I didn't get to those properties until maybe September. So let's say from February till about September, I went back and looked, and I'm still looking now. I'm probably almost to the end of that list, but probably over 20 of those properties closed. Like somebody else was able to get those deals.
Yeah.
So that really hurt, because it's like I had all of these leads and hot leads in my phone, but I was so focused on trying to help everyone else and make sure everyone else knows what they're doing, and, you know, just trying to give, that I didn't take that time for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And focus on those leads. Now, I was calling for anybody in the PG County, DC area. I was calling pre-foreclosures, and that's how I was able to lock up deals. But that driving for dollars list, it was so hot though. And I'm going to do a quick video about that, just showing people like how many deals I missed out on. And that just kind of showed me, like I said, to just, you know, get yourself right though. Like, even Antoine told me this some time ago, like, you got to pour into yourself before you pour into others. Yeah. So, and you know, that just kind of sticks with me now. So that just shows me that, you know, you can do this. Andrea, slow feet don't eat.
Yes, you're right.
So yeah, and that just kind of stuck with me, that, you know, now when I set out the top of the year, I asked for a certain amount of money, and I don't really like discussing money, but I just know for sure that if I would have been attending to that list, that I would have exceeded the amount of money I asked for.
Yeah.
And you know, it's like, it's good and it's bad, but it's really more so good, because it just taught me that, you know, you can give, you can be giving, but at the same time, you have to, you know, pour into yourself and make sure you're in a position to give and do things like that.
Mm-hmm. And may I also add to that, I call that giving within your capacity. And sometimes people demand more of you than what you can give. Meaning that I've had people approach me to handhold, and I'm like, whoa, I'm a beginner at this too. Let me pass you off to rehabbing and heels.
There you go.
House 216. Like other people, that's not me. That's not within my capacity. I stay in my lane. Now, if you want a good book recommendation, I'm your girl. Like, where to meet up, who to connect with, I'm your girl. But I know how to give within my capacity. And I feel like being transparent with people and letting them know this is what I can give and this is what I cannot give to you right now. People ultimately respect that.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel that way.
Yeah.
Everyone, you guys are the best. I can't keep up with these comments. Elle says, everyone says to have a system in place. If you were starting out, what would be the steps to put a system in place? What are your thoughts on that?
I feel like that's kind of a wide question, just because there are several ways. Now, it depends. I honestly feel like it depends on your budget. Because with budget, you can do more things. Now, with no budget, you can still get those things done too. So I'll just give, I guess, the free way. So a system that I have in place is just cold calling. So what I do, I have my list, and this is just from Driving for Dollars. So I have my list. I had a skip trace. And what I do is I don't use a call system, even though I have one. Yeah. I don't use a call system. I just hand dial. So what I do is I'll make notes of every call that I take, and I'll set a follow-up on my phone. Now, all of this is free and easy and so simple, though.
How do you set a follow-up on your phone? Teach me
that. So what I do is I use my calendar. Like the calendar app actually allows you to do some amazing things, though. Like you can put phone numbers in there, call right from there. You can put emails and email right from there, from the calendar. So I take advantage of that, and it helps a lot, though. Podio, all of that. I'm familiar with all of that. That's just not what I use right now, because I'm just trying to get the foundation of a beginner, so I can be able to teach that and delegate that as well, though. But that's just one system. And if you have a budget, then you can always get a cold caller. You can always find deal finders. You can set up systems. But honestly, when it comes to setting up a system, I just highly recommend going to see Antoine Campbell and letting him.
I'll be having him on soon.
Rocket you off, though, because that's where I learned what I know from.
Yeah.
So I would just recommend anyone who wants to get on the system and you have fun.
Guru.
Yeah, he's a guru. Actually a guru. Yeah.
Guru, man. You're right. He is a guru for real. He is a serious guru.
Yeah.
Serious guru. Who is it? Okay. Elle loves Google Drive. Ooh, creating alarms in your phone. Get rehabbing and heals. Yeah. Great points, guys. Really, really great point. So here's my other question for you. Let's just keep it a buck here. Was it distraction, or was it an issue with consistency that blocked you from getting those deals?
It may be both, because it's like I could have gotten to it. I could have gotten to them, but I just was so caught up in what I was doing, and things were moving so fast. So I guess it may be a little of both, honestly. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
For me, to be honest, for me right now, that is my challenge, being consistent.
Yeah.
Just consistent and be consistently following up, because I'm still trying to figure out my own system as well, to be honest. So it's a work in progress, and you learn as you go, which is the beautiful thing about your podcast you had mentioned before, how you learn by doing. Yeah. Why is that so important for you?
Honestly, that's just the way I've been as young as I can remember. Like riding a bike, I told myself how to ride a bike. Just getting on the bike and coasting down the hill and just keeping my balance from there. So just things like that, I just always keep in mind, because you can do anything you put your mind to. Definitely do anything you put your mind to.
I'm sorry, I'm dying to ask you, and I mean no disrespect, but I gotta keep it a buck. For a gentleman from Southeast DC, how did you develop such a positive mindset, and how did you change your mind so that it changed your life? I got it right. You're from Southeast. For those who don't know, that is a particular area of DC that's how would you?
You don't want to go there. You don't want to go there. I wouldn't invite you. Yeah. So honestly, what it was, I've always been pretty positive, but I've been surrounded by negative. So it's just like you gotta have that balance. Yeah. So what did it for me was just when I found real estate, I started reading books, though. So reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Yeah. My favorite book is Think and Grow Rich. I'm probably on my second go round of reading that book.
I can't get through that book for nothing.
Really?
I can't get through it.
You might gotta try the audio.
I'll try the audio.
Definitely. So just reading those books, and then once the meetup started, being able to be around so many positive people that had so many positive things going on, that just kind of helped. And then just being always been infatuated with how the mind works. So once I found out about meditation, and once I found out about, affirmations, and just how your words are power, and how you can speak things into existence, I just kind of I believe in that more than I believe in anything right now.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you face any resistance from your family and friends?
No, not at all. I always have been like a leader. So it's like whatever I'm doing, like people either going to not be with it or they're going to be with it. And I really don't put myself with too much concern about, you know, how others are feeling. But I've been getting a lot of support from it. A lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people might just think it's just kind of like talk or what I'm doing, but I'm really, really like, I guess, in the trenches with the real estate investing right now.
Yeah.
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 Real.
I always wonder about that because I know sometimes it can feel, well, I can only speak for myself.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it can feel a little alienating because if there's no one else who is really into real estate investing, mindset, financial literacy, because it is this like special hybrid of, it's a special interest group, our people.
It is, though.
Like,
Small circle, though.
We're a unique bunch.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you don't have that around you and you don't take initiative to cultivate a tribe, it can get a little lonely.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially when you want to start talking about like real estate investing, and you know you can't have those conversations with you know your family and friends because they're not in it and won't understand. So yeah, it gets lonely quick though.
It does.
Yeah.
It really, really does. So for you, when it gets rough, what helps you to keep yourself focused?
Meditation, honestly. Like I'll be, I have a lot of anxiety, so I have to meditate a lot now. So what I do is it all depends on what might be going on. I'll just stop where I am and just meditate though. Like I'll just even if I'm driving, I'll pull over and just meditate. Honestly, the key is really being able to calm your nerves, calm yourself down, and just thinking positive though. Like that really, really helps. Honestly, it does.
But do you, hold on, wait. See, DJ always dropping gems. DJ, what'd you say? Oh, DJ says sometimes you have to keep things to yourself. Yeah, I agree with that, DJ. I agree with that. But here's the thing. I'm just playing devil's advocate here, okay? Which is this. It's easy to say, oh, you just have to stay positive. You have to stay positive. Yeah, that's a great bumper sticker. Is that being, some people can think that that's being a little delusional, right? Like staying positive, staying happy, staying positive. So for you, what does it mean when you say staying positive?
Just not letting things get the best of you when it comes to those negative thoughts though. Cause just from my background, like it's just real easy to, you know, like not trust people or things happen and it kind of like just makes you think of things from the past or just negative period. It just happens. So what you have to do, like you don't want to be upset. You don't want to have those negative thoughts. So you have to find something that you can connect with, whether it be God or, you know, I'm not really very religious, but you know, whatever you find that's positive for you, I'm all for it though. I believe in positivity. So whatever it is, you just have to find that and connect with it though. Honestly, that's really what it is.
I feel you. Andrea said, yeah, real estate is very lonely. Yeah, it can be pretty, well, I'm happy I'm not alone, guys. Like, you guys to make me feel a little better.
Yeah.
I found my tribe.
All of us feel alone, but we all together.
I found my tribe here on IG. I appreciate y'all immensely. So with that, because once again, you developed the mindset.
Yeah.
Did you have to remove yourself from any types of friendships, relationships, social groups in order for you to stay focused on what you wanted to do? Or were you able just to stay in your own lane?
So honestly, for me, like I've always been a loner though. Like even growing up in where I grew up at, you know, you have your friends, but it was a lot of things I prefer doing by myself though. Like I can have fun by myself. So I didn't really have to, you know, end any friendships or remove myself. I just kind of just focused on real estate, you know, and, you know, I might touch bases with friends and things like that, but I didn't really have to remove anyone. I just focused in, you know, trying to teach myself to get better.
I like that. Oh, sorry. So many awesome comments. I can't keep up with you guys.
Yeah.
I cannot keep up with you guys.
They lit on it.
I know. It's like that on these lives. I can't even keep up with you guys. But yeah, that's something I always wonder about in terms of some people always say, oh, you know, you have to cut people off.
Yeah.
I am not the person who says to cut people off. You have to be really, really on my naughty list for me to like cut you off. But I can modify.
Yeah. You cut back a little bit.
Very, very well.
Yeah, for sure.
Well. I like that though. Now, with you, how has networking helped you in your business?
Oh, networking, man. That's like I think that's my favorite part of the business now. Just meeting so many interesting people. And it always reminds me like, wow, where I come from, I would never like talk to you or speak with you. And I just be so grateful to just be in the presence of people with such a positive mind. So man, networking has changed my life though, man. It is though. Like I've met so many great people. I've been able to be in rooms with some of the most amazing people in the world. So I highly recommend networking. Like that's going to be my focal point this year, to kind of network and just get to as many events as possible this year.
Now, okay, you have to delve into that because people have been, well, I can speak for myself. In the past, I had a negative connotation with networking. When I thought of networking, I thought of slinging business cards all over the place.
Wow.
Speed dating. So, you know, just trying to talk to everybody. So when D walks into the room, tall drink of water, D, he walks into the room.
Yeah.
How do you network? What do you do?
I guess it depends on what room. Am I walking into a meetup or am I walking
meetup? You walk into a meetup, D. Walk into a meetup.
So I'm just honestly looking for someone who just kind of may have a certain look, or I might just what I do is I'll walk beside people who are already in a conversation and just kind of overhear what's going on, and then maybe add my 2 cents or see if I can fit, or see if we can make some type of connection from there. But it's like now, anytime I go anywhere, everybody just remembers me from the meetup. So it's just it's much easier.
You're a DC rock star now.
Yeah, it's pretty easy now. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Helpful though. Ooh, I like that. DJ said leverage your network. Yeah, that's facts.
You got to.
Facts. And you know one thing I appreciate you said, and that's something honestly that I have to work on, which is you mentioned in your podcast how when you're networking that it is important to go up and talk to people who you wouldn't necessarily talk to in your everyday life.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I love that, because you said in the end of the day, if they're in that room, they're in there for the same reason you are.
I got the same mindset. Definitely have the same mindset. So there's something you can find in common to, see how you can bring value to each other. And don't just network for benefit, network to match the value you can bring, or either if it's not the value, maybe just the sweat equity you can put in to, help this person out. So definitely look to bring value when you're networking.
I like that. Hey, Kaida. Hey, people. Welcome. So you walk into a room, you find someone. Let's talk about partnerships. That's what I want to know with you. Okay. Because for me, I feel like collaboration is a powerful thing. Shout out to Invest as a Team. Y'all already know. I love collaborating with people in many aspects of my life, but especially in the world of real estate, where everyone can eat quite well if they work together.
Plenty. Plenty. For sure.
So with that, for you, how have you partnered with people, and what have you learned from it? Partnership that has gone well and partnerships that have gone sour.
So just learning from partnerships overall, you just kind of learn, I guess like each relationship is going to be different. Certain people you're going to have relationships with where you guys can make money together. Certain relationships you're going to have where you guys can just learn from each other. And certain relationships you're going to have where it's not really going to bring much value to each other. So I think that really just depends on the relationship you have. But just for me, I just learned that, I have to be positive. Like that's like my main focus. Like in any relationship I have to stay positive, just because just dealing with my past though. And I hate to just keep reverting back to that, but just dealing with that, it just kind of, it's still like in the back of my mind as I'm trying to push it out. So I just try to remain positive with all relationships. I try to be as honest as possible. I just try to be myself. I don't try to be, never try to be more than what I appear to be.
I like that. Ooh,
Yeah.
DJ has a good question. She says, "How do you choose your partner?"
It just, I guess it depends.
Okay.
It really would depend. Yeah, I don't really know the best way to answer that.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So looking forward into 2020. I know, hey people, hey Byron. Looking into 2020, what are you looking forward to, and what are you thankful for that happened in 2019?
So 2020, I'm looking for the calendar just to switch over, because I'm ready to take off in real estate investing as a whole. I'm just so excited about what my partners and I have been talking about and discussing. Just the ideas I'll be having, because now I just learned that, if you have an idea, just bring it to life though. So I'm just so anxious to get on top of those things for 2020.
I love that.
Yeah, in 2019, you said, what has it taught me, or what have I learned?
Yeah, what has it taught you, and what are you thankful for?
I'm grateful. What I'm grateful for 2019 is honestly the relationships that I built. That's probably like the hugest thing that changed my life. Just being able to, sit down with, Maxwell, being able to sit down with Christina Spells, being able to sit down with Mr. Tony Robinson, being able to sit down with Antoine. It's just like when you can just have like small conversations with these people, or even just be around when they're having conversations. Because a lot of the time, I won't be saying anything. I'll just be listening. Yeah. Try to soak up as much game as possible. So I'm really just grateful for the relationships and the network that I've built, and being able to help people with the little that I've been able to learn over this past year has been tremendous to me.
That's beautiful. That's really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Look, these comments, you guys are hilarious. Thank you. What is it? Byron said pay for my Oh, congratulations on your new car, Byron. Super lighting. Like, super lighting. But yeah.
Byron, he's a superstar, right?
Yeah, Byron's a superstar. DJ's a superstar. Let me tell you something. DJ's a superstar. Byron's a superstar. Elle's a superstar. Provider's a superstar. Anyone who shows up to my live is a superstar.
Superstar. Right? Got you.
Let me tell you, my team is tight. I only rock with superstars. Right?
Yeah. Sure. You a superstar.
So,
Moses, Moses, what's happening, brother?
Is that Moses? Hello, Moses. Welcome, Moses.
Super rock star.
So with that, you have to share with people tools, resources. I call this my gift bag over moment. So what is your favorite podcast? Hint, hint, plug yourself. And books or resources that you have been using to keep your mind nice and strong now and all the way into 2020.
All right. So the best podcast for anyone right now to go listen to change your mindset is the We Hop Mondays podcast by a guy named D. Will. You probably can find them somewhere on Instagram or Facebook, and just check that out. But honestly, besides my podcast, I really enjoy Chris Bruce, the Newbie Investor Zone. Like I really love that podcast.
Oh, so good.
I love it. That guy gives jewels every time. And another podcast that I like to listen to is the Mind Your Business podcast by James Whitmore. James Whitmore, yeah. I'll even shoot it over to you. But that's a really, really good podcast. He's actually the guy I listened to before I set out to do a meetup. He actually had a podcast that said, well, if you want to do a meetup, here's what you do. So I kind of just took that advice and honestly just ran with that. So yeah, I'll send you that and you can look into that.
I like that.
Yeah. And of course, my favorite guy, Maxwell, man, just go follow that guy, man. He's amazing, man. He gives so much. Like you can be an awesome real estate investor just from watching his YouTube, honestly.
You really can. And let me also look. Now you got me all hot.
Yeah.
In this day and age where you and I are having this wonderful live broadcast and people are talking in this group, and you have YouTube, and you have Twitter, and we have all of these tools and resources available to us. I find it offensive when people try to look for the easy pass. I take offense when people slide into my DMs. Asking me to get the job done for them. No, sir. No.
You know, I've dealt with that, definitely. So yeah, I get it. But I mean, honestly, I try to look, like I said, I just try to look at, maybe people don't know any better though. That's how I kind of look at it. If you don't know no better.
You're such a good-hearted person.
I gotta be though. That's how I look at it though. The first time. Now the second time, yeah, we might gotta talk the second time. But the first time, you don't know no better, so I understand that.
Because there's a little thing called Google, and when you type in questions, answers come out.
Powerful.
And here's my thing: I'm not trying to sound mean or insensitive, because I understand we all have a start. We all have a start. But I have been noticing a theme lately that I do not appreciate, where people are. They're putting it under the guise of, I need a mentor. I need a mentor. I need a mentor. I need a mentor.
Yeah.
And it sounds nice at first. Yeah, someone to mentor you. And then when you really pull back the hood, what they really want is for someone to do all the steps for them.
That's true. Yep.
I'm not the one to and maybe this is not the path for you.
Yeah, for sure.
To me, that's the no-go. That's the no-go. But
YouTube.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, sweetheart.
Nah, YouTube University is like very powerful though, man. Like you can learn how to. Like I remember, I didn't know how to tie a tie. I just put it in, and I was shocked. I was super shocked. I was watching YouTube, so it's just like, man, you can learn anything. I'll be on your own for real.
Oh, DJ, just say it. No more saying, "Can I pick your brain?" Yes, no, my brain is not to be picked.
I don't know how you're gonna get inside there.
It's not to be picked. And let me also plug my girl here, DJ. You guys, for you guys who are working full time and trying to figure out how to wholesale while you're doing it, she launched a bomb planner. I'm excited. I can't wait to get mine. A bomb planner. You just get the planner. Get the planner. Watch the YouTube videos, and y'all all be eating bread and beyond. Yeah. Oh, Rock said pay that consultation fee. I know, right? I might have to charge a consultation fee. And the gag is that if you want a consultation fee, yeah, I know.
2020 is gonna be a fee. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And my friend hit me to it because I was like, I don't want to charge a consultation fee. I don't want this type of interaction at all. And so he was saying, he was like, no, the consultation fee will vet out the riffraff.
There you go. That's all it's for, though. That's all it's for. And they say anyone who's serious, they'll pay, though. And that's what you want, though. You want to invest your time, though, because it's time consuming. It's so time consuming. Oh man, yeah. It becomes a distraction in your business, as it was for me, though. So.
But see, you had the joy of helping roughly around how many people this year, though? Because I've heard word on the street was you were helping a lot of people.
Maybe about 15 people that I'll claim. It might be even more than that, but
I think it's more than that.
People that I know, have either had conversations with me, or we've sat down and met up somewhere, or just from coming to the meetups and just, talking with me and throwing things like that. So, that just was a huge blessing for me. I set out to just only help 10, and I know I surpassed that.
Yeah, you did.
Greatly. Yeah. So that's what 2019 been. It's been full of lessons and blessings.
I like that. Lessons and lessons. I like that a lot. Yeah. Ooh, I like that.
Sound like a t-shirt, don't it?
It does. Let's launch it right now. We're going to do lessons and lessons.
There we go. Coming soon, 2020.
Provider, where you at?
For sure.
It's true. Lessons and blessings. Yeah, that's basically it. That's my thing. It's when you really look around, and that's why I love people like you and the people who are here chilling with us tonight on this live, because you all are a community of action takers and people who are solution based, or solution oriented, I should say.
Yeah.
Solution oriented, because like you mentioned before, because of your background, D, you could have easily said, well, I'm supposed to be a statistic.
But you know what? Let me comment on that.
Please.
as far as I can remember, maybe I was about, I want to say 10. I always told myself that I would never be a statistic, though. Like, I didn't really know what that meant at the time, but I knew that I would always hear based on statistics, this, that, and third, or for the young black man. So I always said that I would never be a statistic. And so far, I've been doing pretty well with not following
You're doing
that
exceedingly
path.
well, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Exceedingly well.
Thank you.
I don't bring people who are mediocre onto these lives.
Yeah, oh, trust me, I know.
Exceedingly well.
I know. I told you I got my eye on you. I've been saying it. It's huge, though. So it's just like an honor just to be on here, honestly.
Thank you. Look, she all right. I hadn't even, look, yeah, book coming out. We'll talk about that more later. Book is coming out. Book is coming. Yes, yes. See? Oh, God, I love you, DJ. But yeah, that is, it's a beautiful thing, because what happens is that there's so much that can be accomplished when you change your mindset.
I think that's the #1 key right there. That's the key to success. You change your mindset, man, you could do amazing things. I've seen it and I've experienced it, though. So it's just like, I'm just so excited about moving forward, though, man. I really am.
Yeah, I love it, though. And so once again, you have my respect, because the powerful part is that you chose not to be a statistic, that you are not a statistic. You are doing exceedingly well. And the beauty is that what you don't recognize, D, is that you're doing well and you are also leading by example, because there are many people who are watching. There are many times your name has been referenced. You know, I mean, listen. Yeah. I mean, listen at these meetups. I notice a theme. You hear things. You word flies fast.
Yeah.
It's a big community. It's also a small community.
Right. At the same time, though. At the same time. That's true.
Is that my Mike from California? Hey, Mike. I got to send my love. That's my Mike. That's my Mike. But yeah, that's it. I find it to be a powerful thing. I have a book to share to your audience. Oh, what is it, DJ? Please. What is it?
Yeah, please. I need a new book to read.
I know. Me too. Oh, well, I'll give you a book recommendation right now. Oh, 3 Feet from Gold. I've heard about that book, DJ. Okay. 3 Feet from Gold.
Okay.
Right now, I'm reading a book called Relentless by a guy. I can never remember that guy's name. He is the guy who trained Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, and another really important basketball player that I don't know, because y'all know I don't know sports.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's awesome. Relentless. Basically, it's talking about mental toughness, self-discipline. Tim Grover, Rock, you are Rock the marketer. 2 points for you, sir. 2 points for you.
2 points.
Let me tell you, look, you guys coming in the clutch.
Yeah. They know their stuff, though. They shop.
They do. I told you, I don't hang with mediocre people. I hang with rock stars. 3 Feet from Gold. Thank you, baby. I'm going to check that out, add it to the Audible list. But yeah, it's powerful. It's a powerful book. I love that. Now, let me ask you this question before we close out for tonight, which is this. Yeah. For me, every year I try to start the year with like a word or a theme, right? Okay. And for me, walking into 2020, my word and theme for myself is discipline. Okay. Discipline is my word for 2020, because that is a space that I want to embody, improve on, and love. I want to love discipline, because I'm recognizing that with discipline comes freedom. For me. Yeah. For you, do you have a word or a theme that comes to mind? And anybody else who's watching this live, do you have a word or a theme that comes to mind for you that embodies your goal or your focus for 2020? Put it in the chat. I want to know.
For me, it's just gonna be, just being grateful and taking action, though. Like that's if I can do those 2 things, woo, it's gonna be beautiful, though. Because that's my goal, is just to take action on these thoughts that I'm having, and then also just being so grateful for what I do have at this current moment, and knowing that the things that I do want, they'll come, though. I know they'll come.
Facts. I like that.
Oh yeah. And it's I'm always gonna be a giver, though. Always gonna be a go-giver. So, that's gonna continue for as long as I can do so.
But you see, and that's the other thing, but then we'll have to add that for the other line. The power of giving is what people don't get. They think that you're losing when you're giving, but you are gaining so much. And it's not even about, being altruistic. No, your bag, your check gets bigger when you give. Wink, wink.
They really do that. They really do. Really do that.
Factual, it is fact. You will make more money if you're focusing on giving to others than you would be if you're focusing on yourself all the time.
That's true. That's true though. Like you have to, it's like you have to want to give though, in order to even receive though. Like you have to like. I don't know if anyone has read The Go Giver. There you go.
I love that book. They just mentioned
it. Really changed my perspective on just giving though. So that's an extremely powerful book though. Yep.
It truly, truly is.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to be mindful of my time. Look, everybody, it is what? It's 7:53. I don't want this to cut off and not save. So we're gonna wrap this up here.
Mm-hmm.
D?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Thank you. Definitely appreciate it.
You did not disappoint, sir. Thank you, D.
Yeah,
Thank you for everyone who's been hanging out with us tonight. I deeply appreciate it. Y'all could have been anywhere else in the world, but you still had to hang out with us, and I appreciate that deeply.
Definitely.
Deeply. Now, let's do a quick announcement. I am going live again tomorrow night at 10 p.m. I have no guests because, mi gente, you are my guest tomorrow night at 10 p.m. because we have some business to talk about for 2020, and I need your help. I need your input on this live. For those who do not know, we are going to be moving this party over to YouTube at the start of the year. Yeah, because as my people know, IG's been mad temperamental, disrespectful, disruptive, like... So we're going to change this over and move to another location.
No, I was saying you're welcome to the realtor.
Oh, hello. Yeah, everybody.
Okay.
So yeah, that's it. So tune in. I need you guys to come and hang out with me tomorrow night at 10 p.m. as we can talk business. All right. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us tonight.
Yes.
If you have not followed D,
come on over. I got some good.
You just go on his profile. You just smack that phone. You just smack it.
That's it.
Just smack it.
That's it.
You just tap on it just like that. All right. And you don't follow me. I am Gia. I'm the Kaizen Investor. Come on over. It's all love. It's all mindset. I finally figured out a somewhat good slogan, which is mastering mindset for the real estate investor.
I love it. Does it
have a ring to it?
Yeah, I love it.
I work out a little bit.
T-shirt.
I got to take it.
Yeah, T-shirt. Put it on a T-shirt.